This is page 749, number 9, and this is a problem about coins being tossed. And I'm tossing 3 coins, and I'm supposed to find the probability of each of these events. So a way that you can organize yourself with coin tosses when it's a low number of coins like this is to just make an organized list. So I could start off and say, okay, I could have heads, 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 all 3 heads on all 3 coins. If I just think about putting them on a table and tossing them one at a time. Then maybe I have 2 heads and 1 tail in some combination, and so I could have heads, heads, tail, or I could have a heads and then a tail and then a heads, or I could have a tail on the first one and a heads on the 2 others. Or maybe instead of this I have 2 tails and 1 head, so I could have tails, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, or heads, tails, tails. So in the order of the 3 coins that could occur. And then the other situation is I could have all 3 tails. So if you count these up, there are 8 possible outcomes. Okay, and each individual outcome has a 1 out of 8 possibility of happening, which happens to go along with 3 coins, each having a 1/2. So 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 probability of having a head or a tails. So the probability that all 3 are heads, well, that's just this one. So 1 out of 8. Probability of 3 heads is 1 out of 8. The probability that of all 3 tails is also 1 out of 8. The probability at least 1 tails would be pretty much, it's everything except all 3 heads, isn't it? So we can look at that as the complement. So I can write it as 1 minus the probability of the 3 heads. Okay, so 1 minus 1/8, or the other 7/8. Or you can just count up, everything with either 1 tail, 2 tails, or 3 tails, and that's 7 of the 8. And then exactly 2 heads would be this group right in here. So happening in different orders so the probability of 2 heads exactly, so 2 heads and 1 tail, is 3 out of 8. So that's it. When you just got a few coins like that, you could it's fine to make a little diagram or an organized list like this.